Have you ever wondered what would happen if gods from different mythologies suddenly decided to face each other in an all-out cosmic fight? If one day the divine worlds lined up for a showdown, most of the internet's favorite gods wouldn't stand a chance. And here's the twist. If the battle were direct, no politics, no diplomacy, no Olympus standing above the world, Tupã would absolutely wipe the floor with Zeus. I know. Zeus has fans everywhere. He has reputation, he has ancient prestige, he has Hollywood. But today, right now, we're finishing this debate once and for all. Because once you truly understand who Tupã is, where his power comes from, and what he represents, you suddenly realize that Zeus is just Zeus. But Tupã is another category entirely. So, adjust your headphones, hit that like button, and come with me as we uncover why the Brazilian thunder would obliterate the Greek thunder without even breaking a sweat. Most people in Brazil have heard the name Tupã at least once, maybe in school, maybe in a storybook, maybe in a meme. But what almost nobody knows, and this is where the story really begins, is that Tupã is not simply a thunder god. Not even close. For many indigenous peoples of Brazil, especially in Tupi-Guarani traditions, Tupã is the creative force, the origin of life, the breath that shapes the world, the light that establishes order, the thunder that carries the universe's consciousness. Tupã is not a muscular figure holding a lightning bolt. Tupã is the phenomenon itself, the living expression of nature. He is as fundamental to his mythology as the Big Bang is to modern science. Which leads us to the first devastating blow against Zeus. Zeus is a ruler. Tupã is creation. And that difference changes everything. Zeus sits on a throne he conquered through violence. Tupã exists as a primordial force that precedes any throne, any hierarchy, any godly politics. Comparing the two is like comparing a president to the universe. Both command something, but only one defines how everything begins. Now, let me ask you this. When you picture Zeus's power, what comes to mind? Most likely, a bearded man hurling lightning bolts from the sky. Impressive, sure. But where did Zeus get that lightning? From war, from rebellion, from a violent conquest. Zeus didn't invent thunder, he took it. Tupã, however, is thunder. He is light. He is the energetic pulse behind natural phenomena. His power doesn't come from war or a throne, it comes from his nature. And the difference between having power and being power is enormous. What you have can be stolen, what you are cannot. If Zeus loses his lightning bolt, he loses half his identity. If Tupã loses his lightning, he simply creates another one. Because he doesn't use thunder, he manifests it. Let's compare their stories. Zeus is undoubtedly strong, but he's also famously tricked by mortals, manipulated by other gods, injured in battles, and nearly killed by monsters like Typhon. And of course, his endless list of affairs, which would fill an entire encyclopedia. He's powerful, but unstable. Tupã doesn't get tricked. Tupã isn't captured. Tupã isn't seduced. Tupã isn't defeated. When he appears in stories, he appears as something beyond conflict, a pure, cosmic, incalculable force responsible for forming existence, shaping humanity, and sustaining order. Tupã doesn't fight, because fighting would be pointless. It's like challenging gravity to a duel. Good luck hitting a concept. Here is the defining distinction. Greek gods are anthropomorphic. Bodies, emotions, limits, egos. Tupã is not a body. Tupã is a force. How do you wound a force? How do you strike thunder? How do you defeat something that isn't restricted to a physical form? Zeus needs a body. Tupã does not. It's like comparing a sword with the wind, or comparing a torch with time. Zeus is an immensely strong being. Tupã is the underlying system of nature itself, and nature does not lose. Now let's talk symbolism. Zeus represents authority, hierarchy, government, patriarchal rule. He's the leader of a divine monarchy. Tupã represents harmony with the world, vital energy, and natural equilibrium. He doesn't govern the elements, he is the elements. Zeus leads a kingdom. Tupã is the kingdom. Zeus throws lightning. Tupã is lightning. Zeus intervenes to solve problems. Tupã creates the very conditions under which problems exist or cease. Zeus is a mythological character. Tupã is a cosmic principle. And principles do not fall. But imagine just for fun that they actually meet in battle. The sky roaring, oceans trembling, Olympus watching from afar, the ancient forests awakening. What would Zeus do? He would raise his arm, form a lightning bolt, and hurl it with divine fury. But here's the problem. Tupã is not an opponent. Tupã is the phenomenon Zeus is trying to weaponize. Throwing lightning at Tupã is like throwing fire at the sun. Tupã would absorb the energy, expand, transform it, and reflect it back as a natural consequence, not an attack. Because nature answers, and nature answers loudly. Zeus lives on Olympus. He exists in a place. Tupã is everywhere. Thunder, light, storms, creation's breath, all manifestations of Tupã. If Zeus aims at one location, Tupã simply isn't confined to it. He's everywhere, or nowhere, or both. How do you defeat something that exists across multiple planes? Zeus would be fighting an opponent that doesn't even need to show up to win. And there's something even more important. Greek mythology today is studied, admired, but mostly historical. Indigenous Brazilian mythology is alive, practiced, passed down, sung, lived. Tupã is alive in culture, in storytelling, in spirituality. Zeus is alive in literature. A living god has power. A museum god has memory. And now the final blow. Tupã doesn't fight. Not because of weakness, but out of irrelevance. Thunder doesn't argue. Light doesn't negotiate. Creation does not battle the beings it created. If Zeus challenged Tupã, Tupã wouldn't attack. He would simply manifest. And in the presence of pure creation, Zeus would fade into insignificance. Not because he was defeated, but because the concept of battle would no longer apply. When the force of existence stands before the warrior goes silent. So, after this entire journey, the answer becomes obvious. Tupã would completely overpower Zeus. Not through brute strength, not through bigger lightning, not through epic combat, but because Tupã is not even playing the same game. Tupã is the principle. Zeus is the narrative. Tupã is the source. Zeus is the symptom. Tupã is nature. Zeus is the ruler. And whenever the ruler faces nature, nature wins. Every time. If you enjoyed this exploration, if your mind opened to a new way of seeing mythology, then don't forget. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and tell us in the comments, which mythological showdown should we break down next? Thor? Odin? Quetzalcoatl? Ian Sa? We'll make whichever battle you want. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. And until then, may Tupã guide your path with thunder, truth, and wisdom.